Welcome to Entrepreneurship. So, nandito na tayo sa Quarter 1, Module 3. And ang module na ito, it's all about recognize and understand the market. Okay, so for this module, it is divided into two topics. So, number one, we have to describe the unique selling proposition and value proposition that differentiate one's product service from existing products or services. And for number two, we have to determine who the customer are in terms of target market, customer requirement, and market size. So, pag-uusapan natin ito lahat dito sa Module 3. Okay, so in previous lesson, we'll learn about the creation of an entrepreneurial ideas that lead to identification of entrepreneurial opportunities, which in turn result in the opening of an entrepreneurial venture. So in opening the new venture or a business, you need to determine the unique selling proposition and the value proposition of your product as well as your target market. So, ibig sabihin, identify na natin kung ano yung product na gusto nating ibenta. So, ngayon, ang gagawin natin, we have to determine ano ba yung unique selling proposition and ano daw ba yung value proposition of your product. Here are the example of unique selling proposition or value proposition on one's product or services. So, makikita natin, the Langhap Sarap ay example ng unique selling proposition. And alam naman natin na yung Langhap Sarap ay makikita natin sa Jollibee. So, ibig sabihin, itong si Langhap Sarap ang unique selling proposition ni Jollibee. And then, these are also the sample. Okay, for activity 2, we have to determine what method of market segmentation yung ginagamit. So, dito sa market segmentation, we are just going to identify the geographic, demographic, psychological, and behavioral segmentation. So, we'll be used to the following items. So, i-identify lang natin kung halimbawa this one, the number 1, we have a climate change. So, saan ba belong ang climate change? Ito ba ay geographic, demographic, psychological, or behavioral segmentation, and so on. Now, ano daw yung tinatawag nating value proposition? So, ang sabi dito is a business or marketing statement that summarize why consumers should buy a product or use its service. So, this statement is often used to convince a customer to purchase a particular product or service to add form a value to their life. So, in creating a value proposition, entrepreneurs will consider the basic element. Okay, paano daw tayo makakapag-create ng ating value proposition? We have to consider the basic elements na meron tayo. Number 1 is the target customer, okay? Sino yung mga target customer natin? Bakit tayo magbebenta ng ganitong product? Next is needs and opportunity. Ano ba yung needs nila? Ano yung nakikita nating opportunity na bibilhin nila sa atin yung product kasi yun yung needs nila. Then the next one, name of the product. We have to consider also the name of the product and the name of the enterprise or the company. So, ibig sabihin, kapag may pangalan yung product mo, iba pa rin yung name ng company. Okay, so dito, there are many competitors in the market to establish superiority to them. So, entrepreneurs should think some alternative and how it works better. So, an important aspect in value proposition must be truthful that will establish credibility to the consumer. So, example of potential value proposition is most common in small businesses of your locality. So, ang halimbawa dito is si Aling Charing Sari-Sari Store, okay? So, si Aling Charing open only at 6 to 6 p.m. But Aling Charing noticed that there are customers who go nearby town to look for a convenience store at around 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. So, naniniwala siya. She believes that this is a great opportunity for her store. So, ang ginawa niya, nag-operate siya ng 24/7. So, this is the example of proposed value proposition. Charing Sari-Sari Store open 24/7. Okay, so the business describes Sari-Sari Store, a basic retail store. So the assurance of this value proposition is because the phrase open 24/7. So Aling Charing Sari-Sari Store open 24/7, which make it different from other competitors. So, ito yung pagkakaiba niya sa mga kalaban niya. So, that is a value proposition. Okay? Ngayon, we are going to define what is the unique selling proposition. Okay? Pag sinabi naman natin unique selling proposition, refer to how you sell. Okay? So, how you sell your product or services to your customer. Okay? You will address the wants and desire of your customer. So, as an entrepreneur, you think of marketing concept that persuade your target customer. So, the following question you may ask is doing this: what the customer want, what brand does well, and what your competitor does well. Okay? So, yun yung ibig sabihin natin ng unique selling proposition. Okay, some tips for entrepreneur on how to create an effective unique selling proposition to the target market. So, number one is you have to identify and rank the uniqueness of the product or services character. Okay, you have also to be very specific and keep it short and simple. Okay, so kung gagawa kayo ng mga pangalan ng inyong product, tatandaan nyo dapat maiksi lang, dapat madali lang tandaan. As an entrepreneur, present the best feature of your product or services that are different from other competitors. Yun naman lagi eh. Ano ba yung kaibahan mo from other competitors? So, identifying the unique selling proposition require marketing research that you will learn from the other modules. So, in promoting your product or services, make sure that it is very specific and put details that emphasize the differentiator against the competitor. So, keep it short and simple and think of the tagline that is easy to remember. So, right now, the proposed unique selling proposition ni Aling Charing is the Charing Sari-Sari Store open 24/7. Okay? So, ito yung unique selling proposition ng tindahan ni Aling Charing. Okay, so readers get confused between the value proposition and unique selling proposition. So, the two propositions are used to differentiate the product from competitors. So, kaya tayo naglalagay ng mga value proposition and unique selling proposition is para ma-differentiate natin yung ating product sa iba pang competitors. So, for example, makikita natin dito that Jollibee is known to have a Filipino taste burger, diba? Okay, so ang Jollibee talaga is kilala sa ating hamburger. And this brand has a unique selling point because of its tagline, langhap sarap, okay? So sa ating Jollibee, meron siya talagang tagline na langhap sarap. The unique value proposition and value proposition are two most famous tools used to explain why prospect customer buy each product and services, okay, if you are selling product or if you are selling services. So based on each definition, we learn that the unique selling proposition and value proposition are frameworks of each business industry. So the two propositions are valuable for entrepreneurs. So napakahalaga nitong dalawang proposition sa isang entrepreneur. Okay, so after you understand the value proposition and unique selling proposition, now it's time to understand the target market, customer requirement, and the market size. Okay, so we are just going to identify ano ba yung meron dito. Target market is a stage in market identification process that aims to determine the buyers with common needs and characteristics. So, ang target marketing daw natin is dapat na-identify natin kung sino yung mga buyers natin at kung ano yung mga needs na kailangan nila. So, prospect customer are market segment that entrepreneurial venture intend to serve. So, ibig sabihin, kaya yun yung product na gagawin natin kasi yun yung need ng target market natin. So, in targeting a specific market, it will exclude people even if it will not fit your criteria. Rather, target marketing allow you to focus your marketing money and brand message on a specific market that is more likely to buy from you than other markets. So, product is more affordable, efficient, effective way to reach potential client and generate business. So, these are the commonly used method for segmenting the market. So, ito daw yung ginagamit natin para magkaroon ng segmenting market. So, number one is geographic segmentation. So, from the word geographic, the total market is divided according to geographical location. Okay, so geographical location ito. Variable that we have to consider is the climate. Okay, dominant ethnic group, culture, density. Density if it is either rural or urban. So, dito siya papasok sa geographic segmentation. And then we have to consider also number 2 is the demographic segmentation. Kapag sinabi naman nating demographic segmentation, divided based consumer, so ibig sabihin, ito yung mga variable that we have to consider. These are the thing na hindi na natin mababago sa kanila. Number 1 is gender, age, income, occupation, education, religion, ethnic group, and the family size. For number 3, we have also the psychological segmentation. So, from the word psychological, divided in terms for customer think and believe. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung kanilang mga pinaniniwalaan. So, ano ba yung dapat nating i-consider under the psychological segmentation? So, ibig sabihin, letter A is needs and wants, yung attitude nila, social class, personality traits, knowledge and awareness, brand concept, and also the lifestyle. So, ito yung mga pinaniniwalaan nila. And for number 4, we also have the behavioral segmentation. Kapag naman sinabi natin behavioral segmentation, divided according to customers' behavior pattern as they interact with the company. So, ito yung mga kanilang kaugalian. So, ano ba yung variable to consider? Yung perception nila. Ano ba yung knowledge nila about product, reaction, yung benefits, loyalty, and responses. So, ibig sabihin, ito ay makukonsider natin na malalaman natin on how they interact with our company. For letter B, we have the customer requirement. Okay, under the customer requirement, these are the specific characteristics that the customer need from a product or service. So, ang customer requirement natin, there can be 2 types. So, ano daw yung ibig sabihin ng 2 types? Service requirement and output requirement. So, eto na ngayon. Pag service requirement, ibig sabihin you are selling your service, and pag output requirement, you are selling a product. Okay. Ang service requirement, intangible thing or product that is not able to be touched but customer can feel the fulfillment. Okay, so service yon. So there are elements in service requirement like on-time delivery, service with a smile, easy payment. It includes all aspects of how a customer expects to be treated while purchasing a product and how easy the buying process goes. So dito sa service requirement, dito papasok on how we serve our product. Pag sinabi naman nating output requirements, tangible things siya or things that can be seen. Ito yung product natin. Characteristic, specification that the consumer expect to be fulfilled in the product. So, customer that will avail services as the product, then various service requirement can take the form of output requirements. So, for example, if the consumer hires a multi-cab, okay, so ito yung parang output requirement. Then, on-time arrival because of an output requirement. Customer buy a gadget or phone speaker. The specification like the loudness and clarity are the output requirements. So, ibig sabihin, from the product or yung parang mayroon kang bagay na binili and then yung resulta, yun yung output requirement na tinatawag. Okay, for letter C, we also have the market size. So, entrepreneur most critical task is to calculate the market size and the potential value that market has their startup business. So, market research will determine entrepreneur, possible customer in one locality. So, kung paano daw natin makakalculate yung market size na makukuha natin. So, what is the market size? Market size is like a size of arena. So, where the entrepreneurs will play their business, it is approximate number of seller and buyer in a particular market. So, ito yung parang size ng arena na parang i-consider natin na makukuha mong market. And then, Companies are interested in knowing the market size before launching a product or service in the area. So in determining the market size, entrepreneur will conduct a strategic marketing research from reliable sources using the following method. So the first step is we have to estimate the potential market. Kailangan ma-estimate natin yung potential market na alam natin bibili ng product natin. So approximate number of the customer that will buy the product or avail your services. Second step is to estimate the customer who probably dislike your product or avail the services. O dapat na i-estimate din natin kung sa tingin mo, sino yung mga customer na hindi magugustuhan yung ating product. And then the third one is for the entrepreneur to estimate the market share. That means plotting and calculating the competitor's market share to determine the portion of the new venture. So, ito yung time na parang dapat may estimate natin yung ating mga competitor kung ilan ba yung kalaban natin. Market size become the most important if you ever need to raise funding for your business.